Thank you very much for this great introduction. And so we are Puzzle Innovation. I want to ask you one question. Have you ever in your life been puzzled, perplexed, challenged by a situation you couldn't identify directly how to solve? Well, I am confident that you have been in this situation. Well, you're actually in this situation right now in this Climathon. And we are here to help you with this. One of the questions you might ask yourself now is, who is Puzzle Innovation? Well, I can tell you how I define Puzzle Innovation for me, and you can draw from that how you define Puzzle Innovation for you. Puzzle Innovation for me is a wider network of experts, of co-creation enthusiasts, of change agents, of students, eventually of hackers, of Climathon participants. And for me, it's really about these people bringing change forward. That is Puzzle Innovation. But for others, it's a safe playground to joyfully try new concepts, methodologies, and ideas and to bring them forward. What we usually do in Puzzle Innovation, that was too quick, is that we conduct co-creation workshops, we do leadership trainings, we do community building seminars, and we do also any type of out-of-the-box seminar which you require in your specific and unique condition. All right, we sit down with you together, identify the framework in which you want to collaborate, and we are going to draft customizable service for it. Now, with no further ado, and skipping Puzzle Innovation a little bit, our presentation, what we want to do is today want to bring you a little bit closer to what is an innovation journey, how does it feel like to be in an innovation journey. This includes very much for today the problem statement. It includes as a first deliverable for tonight, a problem statement to put it into context definition, and then we're going to wrap it all up with some dialogue guidelines and suggestions how you can go forward. The day tomorrow is the day tomorrow. We're not going to go into that today, but it will include team culture, business model, strategy development, and storytelling, as one of your key deliverables will be a 3-minute video. And with no further ado, we're going to jump into the innovation journey with my colleague, Thiago Mendes. So Thiago, it's yours.
Okay. Hi, thanks Falco, for that lovely segue. So first of all, I want to make clear that what we're sharing today, all the frames and guidelines that we share with you is not necessarily the way which is best for your team and your challenge, but it's a way that can be helpful. It's our way. So keep that in mind, and hopefully we can support you in the best way possible. So when we speak about the innovation journey, is really the journey about creating something new, right? So a lot of different religions and civilizations throughout history have defined how new is created, the process of creation, and they all more or less followed the same patterns of innovation processes that you hear nowadays. And even if you've had a project management training, you can draw parallels all to the same journey, let's say. So it's always, you start from understanding what are the seeds of potential, and you find ways to transform them into a solution, a creation, right? And we like to draw inspiration from the U theory, which was developed by Otto Scharmer at the MIT. And you see in the screen our version of this. So by definition, if you're trying to create something new, you need to go beyond what is known, right? You need to dive deep into the unknown. Now, as human beings, we tend to not feel very comfortable and at home not knowing We are designed to figure out solutions, to understand everything around us, right? So this can, when we find ourselves in the unknown, this can lead to a lot of conflicts, a lot of frustrations, and we can find ourselves at dead ends and feel like abandoning the whole process and go back up to an environment where we know what we can count on. So in order to feel safe and be successful in this journey through the unknown until we find something new and meaningful, we invite you to take care of 3 core pieces of the puzzle that you're trying to build during these 48 hours. And the core pieces are, for us, your relationships. So the quality of relationship between the members of your team, and maybe you already started chatting today in the morning, introducing yourselves. We also shared with all the coaches a team building activity that we call the self-portrait. So if you haven't done that, you can also ask later for your coaches to share it with us, with you, and we definitely recommend doing it by yourselves and together. And also later, as Falco said, we will talk about a bit about dialogue guidelines. So that also goes into developing that quality of relationship inside your team, because it's really your teammates that will, keep you motivated, keep you going, inspire you, and support you staying with it and finding new ways. And then, of course, you need all the knowledge. Hopefully, everybody is quite knowledgeable about the topic that you're addressed because you chose it, and you can always find more information. You have also experts and coaches available to you, and you can use different platforms to today especially immerse yourself in all the knowledge that you need in order to answer to your challenge. And then you need a strong purpose, right? And this is what the problem statement that you will define today for yourselves will serve. So whenever you feel lost at some point during these 48 hours, you can always connect back to why you're doing this. What is the purpose? And that it will be reflected in your problem statement. So today we invite you to really take care of these core pieces so that as you build your puzzle, you have an enjoyable experience and you have a successful and effective experience throughout. Now, the most important skill that we believe that is necessary to have throughout this whole journey is the capacity and the skillful art of asking questions. And why questions? Because questions indeed bring a whole focus and direction to the team. It creates movement if you feel like you're stuck, and it sets a clear purpose. Now, for example, when you're getting together and trying to understand who you are as a team, you can ask yourself, how do we want to work together? Meaning, what is the availability of each person? What is the type of language that you want to use? What are the meeting structures that you want to put into place? How are you going to be self-responsible and demand mutual accountability from each other? And how do you want to follow and lead each other? So we usually say that leadership is not necessarily a person, it's more of a phenomena that shows up when it's needed, as it's needed. So it's worth having a little bit of a talk about how you want to manage the roles and how you want to practice patience and kindness with each other, and how you want to relate in terms of distributing tasks. And then as you go more into the innovation process and have creative meetings around solving your challenge, you can ask yourself, especially today, again, to gather all the information you need, who you need to speak to and connect with, what information are you missing when you understand all the information expertise you have in your team and the roles you have. And then really, what is the question that is guiding you inside your thematic? So the question that is guiding you is really your problem statement. Now, we believe that it really helps to have certain guiding criteria in formulating this problem statement so that it's as efficient as possible. And we would like to share this with you because you might find it also helpful. So when we work with startups or with teams or with any organization and we're supporting them to define what their challenge is, we recommend that they think of something that obviously they don't have the answer to, right? Because if they did have the answer to it, they would go into the executing of that answer, of that solution. So ask yourselves a question that you definitely do not know how to answer at the moment. Hopefully you'll find it throughout these 48 hours. And if you did have that answer, it would really change everything. It would have a significant impact in what you do and how you do it. And it would have a deep effect on the future that we can create together. So it's that important. And then lastly, it should truly capture your interest. We're all passionate about sustainability, and we're all passionate about, and we feel the urgency of dealing with this social and health crisis that we are facing at the moment. So find something that you would love to figure out, that you're genuinely captivated by, that might even haunt you while you're having your coffee or keep you up at night. And it really helps in our experience to start that problem statement with how do we, because it gives a direction of really trying to figure out something together. And it's really about doing. It's not just about talking, but eventually you want to really bring it to life. So how do we? Now, going back a little bit to the journey, to give a bit more of an idea of how this really looks like in practice. So we recommend that, especially today, it's all about observing, getting to know things, acquiring all the knowledge that you have. And then tomorrow will be more about setting things into action. So prototyping, if that makes sense for your solution, or crystallizing the business model, the strategy, all of that. Hopefully, after this Climathon, as Falco said, you'll carry on into the world and you'll perform your solution, you'll bring it to life. Now, between these two stages of today and tomorrow, between what we already know and what we want to create, there is a point of sensing. And this is where usually most systems get broken, because it's hard to do. We need to go beyond what we know cognitively, and we need to find new patterns and inspiration through our senses, through our emotions, through our body, through our environment. So we need to sense, we need to question, we need to wonder, to find those missing pieces that are around us that we didn't see before, add them to our core, add them to our puzzle, and build a full picture. So here, in order to deal with this tough transition, sometimes it helps to have a concrete frame to do so. So usually we investigate two main questions. We ask ourselves, what is our current reality as an overview? So we look at our past and everything that brought us here. We look at what is our present and what is the emerging future that we are creating. And then what is our contribution and what is the impact we want to create and what we want to be in service of. Now, to make this clear and useful for you, we want to share a a frame, a structure that you're free to use, and Falco will explain it better.
Great, thank you, Tiago, for this deep insight. And now that we are all puzzling to the S, of course, our template also looks like a puzzle. This is a template we really highly recommend you to use from the very first moment on when you're now sitting together with your teams. And our suggestion is for you to share this as a PDF document, that you download that PDF document and you upload it to a collaboration tool, which is called Miro.com. All right, there you can upload it. It's a beautiful online collaboration, kind of a whiteboard interface where you can put post-its, infinitely scroll in, scroll out, make it such much space as you need. And it's really good, especially for bigger teams to collaborate on this. And it gives you a perfect overview of all the knowledge and all the information you want to put into your problem statement. Now, how do we work with this template? As you can see, this puzzle is built up with the past, the present, and the future, while it's also having certain areas of attention, like the team, the industry, and the world. So there is no order in this, how you fill it, right? You start from one edge, you go to the other, you fill the middle. It's completely fine. Everything which comes to your head, you fill it. You put it in there in the right area, and you make it as full and messy as you want, right? Everything, download everything from your brain on this template. And when we look especially to the past, we want to look into habit and resources, okay? So certain habits from the past, which we can't live, for example, in the present, but they might re-emerge in the future in different forms or in the same form, right? If we look in the present, it's all about the needs and challenges we're facing right now. We are facing an economical recession. We are in the middle of a pandemic. There are tremendous challenges, and there are still basic needs, certain needs which we need to fulfill while facing these challenges. And now if we go and look to the future, some tend to see easier obstacles and others rather see opportunities. Both is very important. You can understand it as more of a force field here. Opportunities are forces which are pushing us forward, whereas obstacles are forces which are holding us back. Same counts for habits and resources. Certain habits, certain resources might push us forward, others push us back. Now, this is very tangible now because we can use these forces and either enforce them more, make them stronger, or we take the obstacles, for example, or the bad habits, and we design something which eliminates them or reduces them at least. So I want to give you something more concrete of an example here because that might sound a bit abstract. If you look at the past team level, right, the bottom left corner, in the past, it was very common to make networking like face-to-face. I could go for a coffee with a person I've barely written online, and we chat about common ideas. That's not possible anymore. And in the present, everything is happening online. Online, we're having our meetings. We try to just copy-paste the past into the present, although our whole environment has changed. Now, for the future, this might be an opportunity because we develop new habits in the present at the moment, but also old opportunities or old habits might come back and emerge together in the future. So how will this look like? Will this be an online office where everybody can drop in, drop out? Well, it definitely is something which we would need to consider. And this you can translate it to the industry and also to the whole world and for your specific team. Now pay attention. If you are in your team and you face this template and you're working with this or any other template, right? It is a suggestion still. You want to have a certain type of conversation. And I just want to highlight for now 3 different types of conversation which you might have, starting from a debate, going into a reflective dialogue, going even further to the generative dialogue. So I'm very confident that we all know debates. In a debate, I am an opinion. You are an opinion. And we are confronting another. and I defend whatever I know, and I'm going to beat you down, right? And you try the same thing with me. Now imagine in your team 10 people who have this attitude and try to fill in a template. Now that's going to be impossible. We all know debate clubs, also maybe from school, from earlier. This is not the type of conversation we are looking for, especially in innovation, especially as Thierry explained us, and we go into the unknown, where we already feel uncomfortable. When we are going to be threatened at that moment by somebody else with an opinion he is strongly manifesting in himself, it's going to be a burnout, that's a disaster. So we need to change our attitude. We need to start asking questions. We need to open our mind. We need to stay curiosity. We need to stay curious. And then we're going into the reflective dialogue. And in contrast to being an opinion, in the reflective dialogue, you have an opinion. You have it in your possession, right? So you can do with it whatever you want. You can change it, you can drop it, but you can also keep it, depending on what the environment expects you to do. So you're open to change. Then you can take it even a step further. You can open your heart, your will, play with empathy and courage, and you get to a level of generative dialogue. Now, this is the beauty. This is where you want to go, because as soon as you're in generative dialogue, you're in the flow with everybody else. You're creating together something new, something which has been unknown before. And this might change you even as a person. You're going to be a different person after this type of conversation, but it feels good. It feels really good because you're in line with a common direction. Now, this still might sound a little bit abstract. So I want to give you the example of the music of a band playing together. A debate would be, for example, a battle between the drummer and the piano player, between rhythm and melody. They don't go along in the debate phase because they all think they are the right opinion. Okay. The next level would be a band actually playing together a song from the Beatles or Rolling Stones, and they do it really well. It sounds perfect. But then there's a level beyond this. When these two start improvising together and they create new tunes, new songs, that's something where you can be generally captured by and indulge in and involved in and feel really part of it. And this is where we want to go. This is the type of conversation you want to have. And in order to get that conversation, there are actually concrete dialogue guidelines which you can apply to your conversations. First one is set a clear intent with a concrete finish line. If you decide to go for a template, then the intent would be to make this template as full and messy as possible with a lot of information so you can extract these information into your problem statement. But you want to do it in time, right? We all have only 48 hours. Now I think it's only 47 and a half left, or 47. So you want to set a finish time to this. I recommend 1 hour. You can take more, you can take less. Whatever you think feels right. In the conversation, in the generative dialogue, you want to be open to all possibilities. Explore, be curious, as said before. Also, feel safe to oppose and offer an alternative. Now, this might sound a bit contradictory to what I said before, but it is not the process of opposing, it's rather the intention which is behind that process of opposing. If you want to feel safe to oppose, also create an environment where you accept the opposition of a team member. And take this and develop it further, progress it together. Now, the fourth one is let go of your ego. We all have an ego. We're proud of something. Let it go. It's not about that. It's about the team. It's about how the team can evolve over the next hours to create something. And let go of your assumptions. And that's very hard because all our assumptions are basically imprinted on our subconsciousness due to our culture, due to our education, a lot of reasons, due to our experiences, due to the past. The idea is to accept that there are these assumptions and to start becoming aware of them. As soon as you become aware of them, you can deal with them. But don't ignore them. Don't pretend that you will not have assumptions. Everybody has. And the last point is really listen deeply to others, to yourself, reflect on it for a moment, be patient, take the time, don't rush into things. And then really last points for today from us is capture, capture, capture. Everything you write down, everything you say, you need to write it down. You need to place it somewhere because otherwise it might get lost. You will have a lot of things to talk about. So really make sure that you capture it in some way that you can refine it. And of course, have fun, rock and roll, enjoy the time together as a new team, network. And as Dimitri also said, like, come up with crazy ideas and then we can work together. Tiago, you want to say some last words at the end of our presentation?
Well, just from my side, enjoy the ride, as we said, and if you need anything from our side, we're here. We're at your service. So we'll try to be as available as possible, and really looking forward to see what cool things come out of all of this. So enjoy.
Thank you. And back to Yes Europe.
Yes, Sylvia, do you want to take some more?
Yes. Thanks so much to Tiago and Falco for their presentation, as well as to Dimitri for his opening speech. So we are really thankful for this introduction about what are the tools and how you can better tackle the problems that you will have to face in the next 48 hours. We all know that it's not going to be simple. It's actually going to be quite of a challenge, but we hope that you can embrace the challenge and have fun doing it. Concerning the technical problems that we are experiencing, please stay calm. We will send Slack invites to all the people that haven't received one yet. And please communicate in the help channel in case you are left alone without a team. And we will make our best to merge you with another team. That being said, we really hope that you will have a lot of fun. We want to remember you that at 2:30 we have an intense program of speakers starting, of expert talks that has been shared in the Slack. And we hope that you will be able to join all the talks that you like the most, always through this YouTube channel. So the first one will be at 2:30, and there will be following talks until 5 p.m. So again, please, if you have merged or rearranged teams in a different way, that's fine. You can go ahead with it. If you're left alone and you don't have a team, we will make sure to integrate you in a new team. That being said, I hope you're gonna have a lot of fun, and keep an eye on this YouTube channel because there are gonna be a lot of interesting things happening in the afternoon. Thanks so much to everyone for your time, and we hope to see you soon online.
Yeah.